Hello and welcome back to Regiments. In the last episode, we took command of the 4th Panzerbrigade of the Bundeswehr and we were ordered to attack East German positions and to destroy some artillery pieces. We made some progress on the ground, but so far we have not destroyed a single of our targets. So let's hope we are able to break through in this episode. We only have 89 points of operational authority, and I think it is best going to be spent on deployment points so that we can get more forces on the field. And the remaining points I'm going to invest into our Jaguars to make sure that our variable anti-tank units are at full strength. And I think we might want to use this weather warning event card. It is going to make our units significantly slower, but there are also going to be patches of fog on the battlefield, and I hope this allows us to bypass enemy defenses. The battle can begin, and before we press start, let's quickly go over the strategy. Over here I've called in a couple more Marders that are going to take position over here and hopefully hold our right flank, or at least give us enough time so that we can get more reinforcements in. And over here I've called in Pioneers and Mortars that together with these infantries are going to gather at Swamp East. From there we're going to push forward to hopefully outflank the enemy at those warehouses and get to the enemy positions at Friedland. In the meantime, artillery is going to shell Hill 72 and hopefully allow us to destroy those artillery pieces there. We only have 20 minutes. And the enemy is dug in. So let's hope we can make some good progress from the get-go. These forces are moving. I also want our supplies and our anti-air units to move up. Over here I want these tanks to move forward. I want these units to move forward over here. Or better, let's get our Jaguars forward over here so that they can give some good support. They should have a good eye on the enemy and they should have everything in range. And I also want some aerial illumination on Hill 72 so that we know where we can fire. And let's just hope they do not have too much anti-air in the region. And yeah, I think I have spotted a crucial mistake on my part. I do not think we can actually see. That was a mistake. That was not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to see if these units can actually spot something over there, because all of our tactical aids are not going to give us anything if we do not have a unit that could actually see this ground. We have just wasted valuable ammunition. And we are getting informed that these positions are getting attacked. We are getting some of our supports forward, of our supplies forward. We are going to get our Jaguars over there. We do know that the enemy has forces in the region. Let's get these Leopards forward. These units in the meantime can get closer to the swamp. Maybe it is more or less undefended. We have enemy contact, we can move backwards. Let's also call in artillery on the Hill 72. We have to begin shelling the enemy. Pioneers need to dismount. These units can engage. These Leopards can engage. We have enemy armor in the area. And these units need to move up if they want to overwhelm the enemy tank crews. They seem to have another unit over there. Yes, back there is another unit. So let's better get these guys loaded up. And then in reverse to our supplies so that they can get refitted. Over here, the Jaguars need to move forward. These Leopards need to move forward. These units are battling entrenched enemies. I want them to move over so that they can avoid the enemy flank and hopefully avoid enemy armor penetrating weapons. These units seem to be destroyed. And we have just taken casualties amongst our infantry. I do not know if you can actually afford it to get them out. It is going to take a long time. I'm going to decide to do so anyway. Pioneers, dismount, annihilate those forces. They are just scouts, you should be able to deal with them easily. Wonderful, these forces are annihilated. Let's quickly push into Ardenhausen. We're going to get our supplies into Ardenhausen as well to make sure that our forces can get repaired. These forces can get over here. We have so far not hit anything at Hill 72. I want illumination over this area. These tanks, I want them to push up already. And with some luck, we can maybe spot something at Friedland. These tanks need to move in reverse. We need our artillery out. I want them over here. Our Jaguars are going to be in good work. These supplies can set up. Mortars can also move forward into the open. These pioneers are going to get repaired and we should be able to get fresh forces forward. Wonderful. These forces need to get up over there.
Zone captured.
And I want our anti-air units to also move up. It appears we have lost one of our tanks. Let's get them into the reverse. Enemy forces are over there. Let's hope our leopards can flank. Pioneers are ready. Artillery is going to slam down on these positions. Supplies are going to pull up. Tanks get further into reverse mode. These are tank hunters. We need to make sure that we annihilate them quickly. These leopards need to get uncomfortably close, so let's get them into reverse. Artillery on those positions. And our pioneers are getting ready over here, and then they're going to push in, destroy those entrenched enemies, and make sure they are going to be minced meat. Reinforcements are coming in. Artillery is ordered to start the shelling of Friedland. These tanks need to get over here. We know that the enemy is now going to start a counterattack. This is not good for us. We need to get a move on. Over here, these units need to get refitted. This is why they have to stay close to the supplies. Pioneers clear the warehouses. These tanks need to make sure we can stop the enemy counterattack. From here, we should have a more or less good viewpoint on the enemy. But before that, these forces need to go. Let's also get our reinforcements up. Tanks need to get into the reverse. Pioneers, do your thing. Wonderful. Not wonderful. More enemies, more enemies. These tanks need to move forward. And our flag just annihilated a bunch of those guys. Ah! Very nice. Let's get the pioneers up. Let's get those mortar crews up. Supplies need to move forward. Tanks and tank hunters need to move forward. We are close to this objective. Let's just hope we can make the most of it. Let's illuminate the area so that we can figure out where the enemy is coming from when they counterattack. And fresh reinforcements have arrived. And still, we can't see anyone. We should be able to if there is something there. Let's order our artillery to hit Friedland. Maybe we are lucky and hit something of our objectives. These supplies can push up. These tank hunters, I want them over here. These leopards, I also want them to push forward.
Zone captured.
These guys push forward. These leopards, I want them to stay behind. And I wonder if we should smoke up the area. We have spotted the enemy. Let's move our forces forward. We are able to destroy some. Yes. Yes, finally. We are destroying what we are sent to destroy. Wonderful. They have a lot more forces in the area. I suspect that these might be more of those crews. Let's get our entire forward. These leopards, I need them to flank. I also want heavy artillery over there. Let's get the pioneers in. And I want these tanks to move down. These guys need to move up over here. I do know that we still have enemies over here. We should be able to flank them. But first we need to annihilate those forces. Mortars, I want you to focus down here so that we can annihilate enemy cover fire. And over on this area, we are overwhelming the enemy. Pioneers, shift to this position. These guys move down. Tanks are taking casualties. We need them to move in. I want our supplies to move up so that as soon as combat stops, we can rearm. These mortars might need to move out though. These tanks, I want them to rotate over here. They also need ammunition. And we are still short of one objective.
Zone lost.
We have lost a zone over here, meaning that the enemy counterattack is completely ignoring our positions. And I personally believe this might even be for the better force. Let's quickly get some of our units to get repaired. Let's scout out the area. We only have 7 minutes remaining. I do not know where the rest of the enemy forces at Friesland are. But we need to move forward and we need to move behind Hill 72 to also annihilate those targets. These guys mount up, take care of these positions. Over here we need to gather. Pioneers also mount up. Supplies are going to be given out now. Wonderful. And within the next minutes, after our units have regained some of their ammunition and hardness, we are going to push behind the enemy lines to Hill 72. and hope we can turn this entire affair around without taking too many losses. Our supplies are used up. They need to withdraw. Let's get everyone to move. I want some illumination over here. I do not know where the targets at Friedland are. Maybe they are in the forest, maybe they're somewhere over here. I do hope we will find them though. There they might be. Wonderful.
Zone captured.
We have the enemy spotted. I want these infantries to stay back. From here they might be able to notify us if the enemy counterattacks. These tanks, I want them to lock down this area.
Objective completed.
Or better, move up over here. The rest of our forces are going to push forward. We only have 5 minutes remaining. And at the moment, we also do not have any reserves to draw from. There is the enemy counterattack. I want our Jaguars to move down. Artillery is coming in. These guys need to fall back.
5 minutes remaining.
I'm also going to get our Gepards down. And it appears the rest of this affair needs to be done by these Leopards and these Pioneers, because the rest need to hold down against the enemy counterattack. Help is on the way. We should be able to suppress the enemy quite effectively. From here, these tanks should be able to give cover fire for our Pioneers. These guys need to get into reverse. We have spotted enemy tanks. These guys also move back. Scouts are almost destroyed. These forces are still moving up. And I want this area lit up. I want to see where the enemy is. Pioneers are pushing forward. We are destroying them. 3 more minutes. And luckily, our Gepards were able to annihilate the enemy before they could become too much of a problem. These guys are out of ammo. I'm going to withdraw them. Tank hunters, I want them over here. And I want artillery over here. We might be able to destroy this cluster. These Pioneers are getting sacrificed. They were experienced units too. But at least we now know where the enemy is roughly situated. Let's order everything that we have over them. We are doing some damage. Yeah, it looks like we have destroyed a couple of those units. But the situation is still not good. There might still be tanks down here that we are going to ignore. Or better, we might be able to annihilate them if we push forward on Swamp with some of our tanks. The rest of our forces should hopefully still be able to achieve our objective. We have destroyed one of
Zone
their
lost.
artillery groups. Over here our tanks are in combat. But we were able to destroy them. And now, once more, I need to know where the enemy is. We only have 1 minute remaining. I still do not know where the enemy is. There it is. There it is. There's our target. Finally.
Zone captured.
Let's attack over here. Give support and we should be done. We should have this thing
Objective completed.
in the bag. Finally. Luckily. I want our units to push forward on Hill 68. Maybe we are still able to destroy this location. I kind of doubt it. I do not know where enemy forces went. I could have used these Mardes, but I wanted them as a rear guard, and I also kind of forgotten about them. More forces are over there. I do not know what they are. They are tanks. I'm going to withdraw. And with that, this phase was successful. We have suffered in total 26 men killed, 65 men wounded and 4 men missing, meaning that we have over 95 casualties. We have also lost in total 10 vehicles. On the enemy side, they had 87 men killed, 288 men wounded and 19 men missing, meaning total casualties of 394. They've also lost over 64 of their vehicles. And even though this phase was not as successful as I would have liked, we still have a lot of annihilated platoons on the enemy side. And only 1 platoon of Panzer Grenadiers and 1 platoon of our Pioneers have been annihilated by the enemy. Still, of course, I would have liked to avoid those losses. In the next episode, we are going to move our forces forward to Göttingen and help to reinforce the area. But this has to be it for now. I thank you all for watching and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.